So, Speaker, was there a turning point, a moment since announcing in May and even just telling us at the Texas Tribune Festival last month that you were running for re-election that you said, nah, I'm not going to do this?
No, not really. Not a singular moment. But I did have some time to reflect, to assess where we are, spend some time with my family, get away from the session and get away from the special session that was pretty contentious. Look back at the record and put it in the context of others who've served in this office, and to think about whether I really wanted to do another cycle. It's a 3-year commitment, and while I'm confident that I would win again, and I've been home and touched base in the local community, and I found that the support that we have down there is stronger than ever. I believe the support of the members of the House is deep and strong. But it would be a 3-year commitment, and if I were to do that, it would delay and maybe even prohibit being able to do something else. I just think there's a time that every leader needs to know that it's time to do something else, to move on. And to be able to do it on your own terms, I think is important, and I'm proud of that, proud of our record here. And when you serve as Speaker for as long as I have, 5 terms now, you amass along the way a certain amount of power, and I just think it's important in our system that people be able to turn it back, to know that it's time to give it back and let somebody else have a chance.
What is that something else? You didn't rule out this morning.
I don't know yet. I'm just now giving it some thought. I've always, every 2 years people, ask everybody in elective office, are you going to run for something else? What's next for you? And I've always been in the position that, and taken the position that once I sign up for a job, I complete the mission and see it all the way through without thinking about what the next step is. So this is the first time since I ran for the Texas House and was unexpectedly elected the Speaker fairly early in my career here, that I have some time to think about it and to think about what's next. But I'm excited about that. I've noticed over the last year or so, I've been pretty well received in audiences around the state, talking about issues that I think are important, issues that sometimes aren't the ones that get the most attention in the Capitol. And so I want to do something that builds on that might create a new platform, another opportunity, whether it's an elective office or not, it may be. But I'm looking forward to spending some time thinking about what that next step is.
You acknowledged your low name ID this morning, and
right.
A recent poll showed that. But you see that as an obstacle for running for a higher office?
No, I don't. I think that it's a good signal. It's really something that I was told early on when I was elected Speaker, that you don't want your name ID very high. Historically, speakers who are well known are probably speakers in trouble. And to do the job well, and I've tried to follow this model, the Speaker is just a House member, like everybody else, but has the privilege and the honor of being elected by my peers to serve as the presiding officer. But I'm still elected by a House district, not by the whole state. And so I've always approached this job as being someone who's here to assist others. I know that my incredibly good staff that I've been fortunate to have with me this whole journey has always looked at it the same way. They're on the Speaker's staff, but they serve all the members. And so if you do it that way, you do it the right way, your name ID shouldn't be too high.
$10 million semi-war chest, what do you plan to do with that money?
Well, I'm gonna aggressively work in the 18 cycle. I have a commitment to other Republicans who I think are responsible and have done a good job and deserve to be reelected. I'll be aggressively involved in races as I have in the past. I'm still the Speaker, even though I won't be on the ballot myself. I'll be aggressively out there.
You said you'll be aggressively out there for responsible Republicans. Do you count the Lieutenant Governor and Governor among that list?
Well, traditionally I've focused on House races and on supporting like-minded Republicans and those who I think are part of the team that we built here and have built a good record. So I'll be focused, as always, on making sure that the institution I currently serve remains in good shape and is populated next session by good, responsible Republicans.
What do you think is at stake in the race to replace you? I mean, is there a fear that all the legislation you helped block this past time would just be sailing through in 2019?
Well, you know, every session there are thousands of bills filed, and only, what, 20% or so pass? Something like that. So you'll see a lot of bills filed that didn't pass this time, filed again. Some of them may be those high-profile bills, I don't know. But every legislature starts anew, and there will be a new population of House members here next session. There'll be a decision they'll have to make. But I believe that, and part of the reason I stayed as long as I did as Speaker was with all the tremendous turnover that we've had in recent years, I thought it was important that our team stay in place a little bit longer than maybe I would have envisioned early on, to set an example, to try to show that it's okay to stand up for this institution and not be too influenced by outside forces that may want you to make decisions that your folks back home really don't want you to make.
Your wife was here this morning.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you've spoken with your family and continue to do so. I mean, what does she would like to see you do in public service or otherwise?
Well, she wants to see me help with the yard a little more. Doesn't hurt to wish. But, you know, I don't know. We haven't really addressed that. We've just talked about what we've done together and the record that we've built and the friendships we've made and how honored and pleased we are to have played the role that we've been in here for 5 terms now. But the future is, you know, it's exciting to talk about the future and to see what we can put together. But I'm very enthusiastic, and I just know that based on the conversations I've had around the state, particularly in the last couple of months, that there's a real hunger for leadership in state government to be talking about issues that grow the economy, that give people opportunity, that attract jobs, that don't chase them away to another state. And it's just common sense leadership. And I know that in some role, some way, that I intend to be involved.
Not ruling anything out?
Not yet. Not yet. But I'm talking to a lot of friends, and phone, you can imagine, has been ringing off the hook today. So I'm talking to a lot of supporters and a lot of friends, and I'm not going to rush into anything, you know, right away. But all's good.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you for being here.